atmosphere and the ocean are the most important attributes of life. The atmosphere provides the necessary gases for existence of living things and provides thermal regimes, smoothing out temperature fluctuations. And the ocean is, of course, the cradle of life. And we know very well that in the search of extraterrestrial civilizations, we first of all turn our eyes to exoplanets where there is an atmosphere and where there are oceans. And in the 20th century, we saw, and in the 21st century, we actually felt that these attributes of life and attributes of development can contradict each other. By producing the energy needed for development of industry and to improve our life, we began to heat up surrounding space directly or indirectly due to imbalance of greenhouse gases. Moreover, the beginning of a significant industrial effect on the thermal regime of the planet occurred not far from the temperature peak in the Milankovitch cycles. And it happened very quickly on the scales of decades, few decades, in comparison with tens of thousands of years of natural fluctuation in the thermal rhythm in these Milankovitch cycles. And the most important challenge facing now our planet Earth is whether it will be able to adapt to this abrupt endogenous push in the global stage, or it will go to some unknown states which can threaten with dramatic and possibly catastrophic consequences. Concerned humanity tried to agree on the global level. We well remember Kyoto Protocol, Paris Climate Agreement, and now European cross-border carbon taxation and so on. But we know also that there is a price for use also nuclear energy and wind energy. Nuclear power leaves some nuclear waste, and wind energy has an impact on ecology through inevitable excitation of some mechanical movements in the environment. And the search for this relationship between global energy and climate change, actually, it is a kind of very interesting problem for many scientists, physicists, geophysicists, chemists, even economists and lawyers. There are many questions to answer: how to reasonably reduce the impact on global energy, on the climate without hindering the progress. What is the role of natural factors, in particular permafrost melting of the global energy balance? Is there a positive feedback in the development of warming processes in nature? Is clean nuclear power possible, and so on? And we are planning to discuss all these issues today. And actually, what I think, if this discussion is successful, we probably may in the future continue this forum by new sessions dedicated to some specific issues. Before giving the floor for short introduction to our other chairs, I would like first of all to introduce Toshi Tajima, professor of the University in Irvine. Toshi is an outstanding physicist in the area of plasma physics, laser physics, astrophysics, study of extreme states of matter. Toshi worked quite a long time at the University of Texas, where we met several decades ago and made our joint first publication. Toshi is now distinguished professor at the University of Irvine and also the chief scientist of Tri-Alpha Energy. Toshi will chair the first part of our forum. And the second person I would like to introduce is Professor Valery Rubakov. Valery is the academician of the Russian Academy of Sciences, an outstanding scientist in the field of high energy physics, and also editor-in-chief of the journal of Uspekhi Fizicheskikh Nauk, how it just is called in Russia. It is Russian Uspekhi in physics. And Valery agreed to provide the page of his famous journal to publication following this forum. So, welcome my dear colleagues, co-chairs, and first of all, probably Valery will tell some words.
Yes, thank you. And I just want to say that Physics-Uspekhi is very glad to be associated with this forum, with this meeting. I hope this meeting will be fruitful, really, and interesting, productive, and we're happy to provide the coverage of this meeting, the space for written versions of the talks. Of course, this is interdisciplinary meeting, and somebody should take this role. And I'm glad that two physicists, Tajima and Alexander Sergeev, initiated this forum, this meeting, and agreed and addressed Uspekhi to give the coverage of this meeting. So I'm very glad. I welcome all the participants, all who are with us on Zoom and also on YouTube. And I wish the meeting all success, and we will be glad to publish these proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Following Valerie's introduction, let me also introduce what I have been involved with Sasha. This is Toshi Tajima, Norman Rostoker Chair Professor at University of California, Irvine. Sasha and I have been also working on the international project, like International Committee for Ultra Intense Lasers. I have been chair of that for I think 8 years, and I also inducted Sasha into co-chair while I was serving the chair. So we are working global aspect of various science in that field as well as others. 2 years ago, Sasha asked me that if I can serve some function to make a forum in Moscow on this subject. And then at the time, I thought that I was not quite able to travel. It was before COVID, but after COVID, it even worse. So it became a Zoomed meeting like this, which permits us to meet relatively easily. And I'm very glad that many people accepted. And then also publish it thanks to Uspekhi kindly and very prestigious, one of the most prestigious physics review journal of the world. I'm very glad that you guys allow that kind of a privileged place for the speakers to publish their own papers ad infinitum, because the speech can last only 10 minutes or 30 minutes, but the review paper lasts forever, right? So I'm very glad that we have double punch, speech and the paper, review paper. Okay, so having said that, since I'm serving the first half of the conference chair, followed by Sasha in the second half of the conference. So without further ado, I would like to invite the first speaker of the first part of the session. First 5 sessions are mainly climatological issues of global warming and the other impact that the humans have created. And the second half will be the energy issues or energy solutions, how to handle this. And so these are 1 and 2 parts. And the first half, I will serve as chair. Before I just start, I kind of remember that 1956, Russians at the time called the Soviets, and then the Americans and the other Westerns have been in the Cold War, but in 1956, they decided to get together in a scientific way in Geneva, Switzerland. And then they convened the various, Cold War melting meeting, which launched the various things such as fusion declassification and other things such as Wechsler's famous collective accelerator idea. These things have been floated in 1956. So at the time, West and East rapprochement allowed the science to spurt. Now, I hope facing this global crisis, we can solve once again by meeting like this.